Thanks for waking up with us this morning. It is Thursday. We've got guests on our show and so much fun. My name's Kay Adams. We've got Peter Schrager and Kyle Brandt. Nate Burleson, I said this to you yesterday on the show. It is death, taxes, and Blake Shelton is listening to everything you are saying about us Cardinals. How do I know? Because he tweeted at you last night. Take a look. Hey, Nate Burleson, I see you're warming up to my Cardinals, my man. And you're right, Kay Adams. I'm always listening. Nate, you're coming around on the AZ Cards, huh?
I tried to tell Blake Shelton that I show them love when it's fitting. And right now it's fitting because they're putting the pieces to the puzzle together. Hey, Blake, I'll take a tweet, but you know what else I'll take? You coming on the show, all right? There's nothing going on. You're in isolation just like the rest of us. So you come on the show. No more tweets. I want your butt in seats, all right, man?
Sounds good to me. I'm a no doubt guy myself. What do we got on the show today, everybody? What do you think, sports fans? What's more likely? What happens first? We all go to restaurants and bars, or Dak signs a contract with the Dallas Cowboys? We got 2020 Dak Watch right here on our show, GMDAK. We'll get into it as we always do. How about this? This is really exciting. We have the most electric punter to ever live. An Oregon State Beaver, an LA Ram. Johnny Hecker is coming on the program. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is our first punter since Marquette King, and we are all fired up. Look at him. Look at the dimes from Hecker. One of the greatest quarterbacks to ever live, potentially as well. He's coming on this morning. And one thing we never do on the show, we never forget to remember the Titans. John Robinson coming on the show, the GM of the Titans, not the former head coach of USC and the LA Rams. J-Rob, we're going to talk Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, and I'm not making this up, the time he once ate steak 7 straight days at the Combine. Very relatable to all of us, except it's Doritos and not steak. Coming on this morning, J-Rob, we got a big one.
I love that. Lots of guests. It's one of the benefits, weirdly, of this whole virtual setup is people can just pop on. You never know who's going to show up right here on Good Morning Football. And on that note, let's juju on that lead block.
Lead block. Let's go. Lead block.
Let's do it. Juju Smith-Schuster, there was a video posted where he said about Big Ben, he's back. And he kind of was this week. He had shorter hair, the beard is trimmed down, and he was throwing actual NFL passes to actual NFL wide receivers. Riveting stuff, but seriously, Big Ben is looking the part, looking healthy. We missed him last year, especially in this division. So let's check in on him. And the best person to, of course, share the deets is our very own Aditi Kinkawala.
Wide receiver Ryan Switzer, who's been throwing with Ben Roethlisberger since February, said that there was definitely zip on the ball, that Ben Roethlisberger went off schedule a little bit, that he was able to throw more than 50 yards downfield. And remember, this is what general manager Kevin Colbert had said the Steelers' expectation was, is that Ben Roethlisberger would actually come back healthier than he was before he got hurt, that the year off would do his body well. Now, Roethlisberger himself, he hasn't really said much of anything. He may not, since the governor has taken issue with that beard trim and that haircut for a bit of time. So I think the one thing to remember right here is that the last time Roethlisberger did really talk publicly, it was to Ed Bouchette of The Athletic, and he said his expectation was that he would be full go if there were indeed OTAs. OTAs would be right now. So again, this is all trending upwards for the Steelers right now.
I love it. Sounds like Big Ben is at full strength. Aditi, thank you. Hope you're staying safe. I know you got that newborn at home. Certainly a force to be reckoned with when they are at full strength. But let's talk about this offense as a whole, gentlemen. Nate, it's been a long time since those Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, high-powered Pittsburgh days. So do you think the 2020 Steelers, with a healthy Ben, could get to the level they were, let's say back in 2017?
Well, if we're looking at those numbers, that's going to be tough to do. We're talking a quarterback that's top 5, a running back that's number 3, and a wide receiver that statistically is the best in the game. I don't believe they'll get to that, but I do believe that they can crack the top 10, and that's okay. That still means you're one of the better offenses in the business. The good sign is that Big Ben is working out, not just working out, but he's throwing to his guys. There's a lot of quarterbacks that aren't throwing to their guys right now. There's quarterbacks that are throwing to high schoolers, quarterbacks that are throwing to college kids. He's throwing to Juju, James Conner, guys that are going to be catching for him out of the backfield and running routes for him as a wide receiver. So for me, the great sign is that he's just throwing the ball. And it's okay if they're not as good as 2019. 2017, but I think a realistic goal should be top 10 offense in the league.
Steelers fans pride themselves on Super Bowl rings. That's what they're all about. They look at themselves as America's team. And I look at this team, and their offense won't match that offense. That offense had one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play the game in Antonio Brown. And don't get it twisted, he was that good. Le'Veon Bell had one of the best offensive seasons ever. But you know what happened in that 2017 season? They lost in the divisional round at home to the Jaguars because their defense could not stop Blake Bortles and Jadon Mickens down the stretch. This defense is what's going to be the key for Roethlisberger and the Steelers if they're going to do anything. And the defense was a top 5 defense last year with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph. That's how it goes sometimes. You forget the names because it's so frustrating.
Duck
when the
Rudolph.
defense is so good and the offense just can't get it done. Look, they've added so many young pieces to the offense, and it will be nice to see them all grow up with Big Ben. And I think James Washington could take a leap, and I think the young rookie running back Anthony McFarland will make a difference. But let's not get it twisted. This offense will not be that offense, but this team could be better if the defense keeps it up and Roethlisberger just does enough on offense for this squad to compete.
Do you think when Juju does the spooky "he's back" thing, do you think he knows it's from Poltergeist? Like he's referencing a 1982 Craig T. Nelson movie. I didn't think that was his generation, but he's right. Maybe. You know, Peter, I think you're right on the Steelers, and I think their fans right now are probably cringing just seeing Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown's name on the screen. It's chasing ghosts. It's years ago. They want to move past that so badly, and the answer to the question is no. I'm kind of agreeing with you guys. They can't be as good as that. But the follow-up is they don't have to be. They really don't. That defense that year was really good on paper. And if you look it up, wow, top 5. Well, they were probably top 5 because the Browns were terrible, the Bengals were terrible, and even the Ravens were really bad. And they got fat on a bad AFC North. It was also the year Ryan Shazier got hurt. The secondary was a mess. And yes, Peter, in the opening block of the show, you said Jadon Mickens lit them up. The defense is better now. They don't need to have Le'Veon and AB numbers. They just need Ben to be healthy. They need TJ Watt to be TJ Watt and Minka to be Minka. Yes, the AFC North has all grown up, but so has the Steelers D. It's better now. They are never going to have those guys. They're never going to have AB and Le'Veon back, and they don't need to. Defense, Roethlisberger can still carry the day. They are back. What's up, Craig T?
Because they didn't win with those offenses. Like Schrags was saying, just to put some context to Schrags' point, just some support there. In the 3 years that they went to a Super Bowl with Ben Roethlisberger, their defenses ranked first, and third. Their offenses in their year, guys, barely in the top half of the league, 14th, 22nd, and 15th. They are built for ball control and defense, and I think that they're almost there where they're used to be as far as being a power. And then if you look at the division, the AFC North, Schrags, I feel like it's a two-man race. Yes, the Ravens are very, very stout, and you guys kind of laughed at me when we talked about this the last time and brought up RG3 in Week 17 and they sat everybody. But even though they lost that first round against Baltimore, they got Lamar. They picked him off 3 times. So I think this defense is going to be the cure for that division. Schrags.
Okay.
What else we got?
No, I'm saying, it's a AFC. I'm talking about I asked you a question. AFC North is down to 2 of them, the Ravens and the Steelers. Do you think it's a 2-man race? Is it wide open? I think it's very much a rivalry.
Yeah, I think that the Bengals got younger and got some players back in AJ Green. And of course, we know that they now added another wide receiver in T. Higgins. But I don't know if the Bengals are ready to compete this year. The Browns, I'm not getting on that train yet. To me, it's the Steelers and the Ravens. And Kay, to your point, that first meeting, it wasn't with Roethlisberger. And they took the Ravens to overtime. This was when the Ravens were high-flying. Lamar can't be stopped. Here come the Steelers, and they do what the Steelers do to the Ravens. They bloody them up, and they give them a battle. The Ravens will never blow out the Steelers. It's just not what they do. Come Thanksgiving, it will be a great test. The NFL could have put any matchup on Thursday, Thanksgiving night. They chose Ravens and Steelers. A lot of people said, Steelers. Just wait. When that game happens, it'll be the most important game of the week, and the Steelers will be ready to play. I can't put the Browns and Bengals in this conversation just yet.
I can. No, it's not a 2-horse race. I'd be willing to bet. I don't know this for a fact, but I'd be willing to bet that last May we did a segment, let's say about the NFC West, and we probably asked, Is it the Rams and Seahawks in a 2-horse race? And Peter probably like, yeah, I can't put the Cardinals and Niners in that conversation. The Niners destroyed that division. I'll even go a step further. I bet this year, this week even, if I remember, we've probably done the same thing about the NFC East. Are the Eagles and the Cowboys in a 2-horse race? No, it's not that. And I'm going to do it again, guys. I don't know if you've seen this, but I landed a man on the moon. I came up with this incredible graphic with the Browns huddle and the Browns skill players. I don't know if you mentioned. Check out